Hey everyone, thank you so much for appreciating the previous video. And as many of you commented there, don't just tell us, show us how you actually use ChatGPT to improve your English. So that's what I'm going to do today, a full live demo. I'll show you exactly how I use ChatGPT for grammar correction, vocabulary, idioms, speaking, pronunciation, creative writing, and even small talks. Basically, how I learn, revise, and try to be better every day. Alright, let's start with grammar, the backbone of English. So let's see how ChatGPT can actually become your personal grammar coach. So I'll start with a simple grammar correction prompt. You can literally speak it. See.
Hey there. What's up? Feel free to let me know what you need and we can dive right in.
Okay, correct my sentence and explain the grammar rule in simple words.
Absolutely. Just go ahead and tell me the sentence you want me to correct, and I'll break it down for you in
She
simple
don't
term.
she don't like coffee.
Sure, so the correct version would be, she doesn't like coffee. The reason is that when you're using do or does in the negative form, you need to match the form of the helping verb to the subject. For she, we use doesn't instead of don't. So it's just about making sure the verb agrees with the subject.
Can you make it simpler?
Of course, in the simplest terms, when we talk about one person like she, we say doesn't instead of don't. So just remember, with she, we say she doesn't like coffee.
And this kind of short, clear explanation really needs you to remember the rule. So let's move on to advanced grammar practice, where even fluent speakers make mistakes. Correct the sentence and explain the tense and structure. If I knew about the meeting, I will attend it.
Absolutely. Let's level up a bit. So the correct sentence would be, if I had known about the meeting, I would have attended it. Now let's break that down. This is what's called a third conditional sentence. We use it to talk about hypothetical situations in the past, things that didn't actually happen. The structure is, if I had known, that's the past perfect tense for the condition, and I would have attended, that's the perfect conditional for the result.
Now let's understand grammar concepts on demand. Make sure to choose your level. Here is something I absolutely love. You can ask ChatGPT to teach you grammar at any level you want. Let's say you are a beginner. You can simply type, teach me a beginner level grammar concept with examples. See. Hey, I'm a beginner. Teach me a grammar concept with example.
Absolutely. Let's pick a handy one. Let's talk about the difference between a few and few. They sound really similar, but they give a slightly different meaning. If you say, I have a few friends.
Understood? Now let's learn about simple present tense. Just for example, which we use for daily routine. Like I wake up early, she goes to school. Let's understand. Now can you explain me simple present tense?
Sure thing. The simple present tense is one of the most basic and useful tenses in English. We use it to talk about habits, general truths, and things that happen regularly. For example, you can say, she walks to work every day. Or the sun rises in the east. In both cases, you're talking about something that's a regular fact or a habit. So just remember, we often use the simple present for routines and general truths.
Wonderful. Now, if you are someone advanced, let's understand something for advanced learner as well. Okay, so I am an advanced learner. Now teach me some grammar concept for advanced learners.
Absolutely. Let's dive into something a bit more advanced, like the concept of mixed conditionals. Mixed conditionals are basically when you blend different time frames in conditional sentences. For example, you might talk about a past condition having a present result. So, for instance, we could say, if I had taken that job last year, I would be living in New York now.
Okay, wait, can you make it a little simpler?
Of course. Let's simplify it a bit. Mixed conditionals just mean we mix times. So instead of both parts of the sentence being about the past or both about the present, we might say something like, if I had studied more in school, past, I would have a better job now. Present. So you're just connecting a past situation.
So, any level you are on, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, ChatGPT adjusts its explanation for you. And that's what makes it such a powerful learning partner. Perfect? It's like having a grammar expert right next to you, correcting and explaining instantly and even giving feedbacks. Now let's try practicing with feedback. Once you learn a grammar point or concept, the next step is to practice. And for that, you can ask ChatGPT to quiz you. For example, Give me 5 fill in the blanks question to practice reported speech.
Absolutely. Let's do it. So for reported speech, you're basically taking what someone said and putting it into your own words, usually shifting the tense back a bit. For example, if someone says, I am learning French, you would report it as, they said they were learning French. See?
Great, wasn't it? Now I'll give another prompt to make it clearer. Correct my paragraph and explain the grammar mistakes.
Absolutely. Feel free to share that paragraph whenever you're ready, and I'll help break down any grammar slip-ups and explain them for you.
Now I'll just write a paragraph or speak a paragraph, and it will make sure to point out all the mistakes and tell me what to improve and what not. And you can answer one by one. ChatGPT will check each answer and explain your mistakes in real time. Now let's move to vocabulary, because new words only stay in mind when you use them in context. Hey, give me 2 advanced adjectives I can use to describe people and use them in sentences.
Of course, let's add 2 more into the mix. One adjective you can use is meticulous, which means someone is very careful and pays great attention to detail. For example, she's extremely meticulous in her work, making sure every detail is perfect. Another good one is resilient. This describes someone who is able to recover quickly from difficulties or tough situations. For instance, he showed how resilient he was by bouncing back after that challenging setback. So there you go. Meticulous and resilient are 2 more.
Thanks. So that's exactly how I learn words. I note them down, I repeat them, I ask ChatGPT to tell me them, I take tests, and I make my own examples. So I'll tell you a few prompts. Give me 3 new adjectives for describing people. Give me 3 new words related to food, travel, meetings, office, household chores. Then teach me advanced vocabulary with examples where I can use them. Make me a short test using these words. I always try to learn vocabulary in themes so that I can relate the words to each other and never forget them. And that is the only way you will retain them for a longer time. Next up are phrases and idioms. I use ChatGPT to sound more natural by learning idioms and phrases that I use in everyday conversations. Let's see. Hey, give me 2 idioms that I can use in daily life.
Sure. Here are a couple more idioms that are super handy. One is break the ice, which means to do or say something to get a conversation going in a social setting, especially when people are meeting for the first time. For example, he told a joke to break the ice at the beginning of the meeting. Another useful one is hit the nail on the head, which means to describe a situation or problem exactly right. For instance, when she said the main issue is communication, she really hit the nail on the head. So there you go, a couple more idioms for your daily toolkit.
Okay, now what about phrasal verbs? Can you give me that as well?
Absolutely. Phrasal verbs are super common and really useful. One good one is bring up, which means to mention or introduce a topic in conversation. For example, she brought up an interesting point during the meeting. Another handy one is look after, which means to take care of someone or something. For instance, can you look after my cat while I'm on vacation? So those are a couple of phrasal verbs you can definitely put to use.
Thanks. Okay, so you can use a lot of prompts like this, simple ones, one-liners, like give me 3 idioms related to work, motivation, related to rain, or any other thing, food, activities. And you can even ask, make me a short dialogue using these idioms. And the same goes for phrasal verbs as well. Give me 3 phrasal verbs that I can use instantly and test me on them. Yes, that is how you do it. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, conversation practice. It is one of my favorite parts because I have been doing it a lot on my channel, and I use ChatGPT sometimes, not a lot, because I have been having real conversations with people a lot of time, but sometimes I do use ChatGPT as a real speaking partner to keep my fluency alive and make it better. So let's see. Hey ChatGPT, act like my travel buddy. Let's talk about Switzerland.
Absolutely. Travel buddy mode activated. Let's chat about Switzerland. With its gorgeous Alps, charming villages, and of course all the chocolate and cheese you could want, there's a ton to explore. So just let me know what you're curious about, and we'll dive right in.
I have always dreamed of seeing snow and hiking there, and definitely visit the Swiss Alps.
Oh, absolutely. And the Swiss Alps are like a snow lover's dream come true. Hiking there is just magical, with those incredible views and that crisp mountain air. And once you see the snow-capped peaks in person, I think it'll be everything you've dreamed of. So definitely put that on your bucket list.
So I'm planning that I would go paragliding and then I'll spend the evening sipping hot chocolate by the fire there.
Oh, that sounds like an absolutely perfect plan. Paragliding over those stunning alpine landscapes is going to be an adventure to remember. And then winding down in the evening with a cozy cup of hot chocolate by the fire, that's just the perfect way to end the day. I think.
See how it made everything sound so much better. So this is how I practice real conversations about travel, food, culture, even talks, cricket, politics, everything. And when I talked about Switzerland, I often manifest. So yes, I'm so happy about it. And let me tell you a few prompts here. Let's talk about travel. Be my travel buddy. Ask me 10 questions as if we are meeting for the first time. Help me practice a job interview. Talk to me like I am at the Starbucks. And a lot of things you can talk about. And this is how you can practice real conversational English. Now let's talk about creative writing practice. I also use ChatGPT for writing, like sometimes short stories, captions, essays, and let me show you right away. Help me write a short paragraph on the most peaceful moment of my life.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help you with that. Here we go. One of the most peaceful moments of my life was sitting by a tranquil mountain lake just as the sun was setting. The world around me was so still that I could hear the gentle ripple of the water and the distant chirping of birds. In that moment, all my worries just...
Now you don't have to copy it because it's not your experience. But this is beautiful, right? You can rewrite it in your own words, but you can always learn how to be more creative from ChatGPT. And do not copy it, try to rewrite it. And what are the prompts you can try? Help me write a short paragraph and tell me or show me how can I improve my writing skills. What are those things I can inculcate or put in my writing that will make my writing stand out? A lot of things. Now, one of the most challenging part, pronunciation and speaking. I tell you, one of my mistakes was that since the time I started learning English, I didn't focus on pronunciation much because I thought I will focus and learn pronunciation separately. But I think it has become easier now. So sometimes I even use ChatGPT to practice pronunciation and tone. Like you can type, how do you pronounce this word? Or give me tongue twisters to improve clarity. And I do tongue twisters every now and then, but I have not been doing it for a very long time. Let me show you. Hey ChatGPT, there is a word I often make mistake while pronouncing. Can you just help me? Benevolent.
Absolutely. That word is pronounced benevolent. The emphasis is on the second syllable. So it's benevolent. It's great that you're working on pronunciation, and I'm always here to help with that.
Now I also want you to show like just teach me pronunciation of 2 or 3 difficult words.
And finally, how about mischievous? It's often mispronounced, but it's actually mischievous with just 3 syllables. So there you go. Hopefully that helps, and feel free to practice them anytime.
Exactly. It's not mischievous, it's mischievous. Okay, that was super useful for teachers and speakers like me. And this is how I practice. And even sometimes I even ask to give me tongue twisters, which I already told you, and it really gives. Let me show you. Hey, give me a tongue twister which can improve the sound of sir and sha while speaking.
Absolutely. A classic tongue twister for that is she sells seashells by the seashore. It's a great one to practice those S and SH sounds. You just say it slowly at first. She sells seashells by the seashore. And then speed it up as you get more comfortable. It's a fun way to get those sounds nice and clear.
Okay, that was it. So that's how I actually use ChatGPT to improve my English every single day. grammar, vocabulary, idioms, speaking, writing, everything. Remember, ChatGPT is a 24/7 English partner, but you must double check everything and use your own judgment. That's how you truly learn. Do not rely on it like all the time. Always double check. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. I'll make sure that you start your practice from today. And this video was for everyone who asked me to show a demo and how you actually do it. Alright, see you soon and happy learning. Bye bye.